treasure hunters, blue sky thinkers, bundlers, colorers, and anyone who is just, I should just say blabbers, really, shouldn't I? But
Blabbers?
that sounds awful. I don't like blabbers.
You know, if we got used to the word blogger, I think blabber would be all right.
Blabber's awful. Like, that's not a good word. Okay, so welcome
Let's start
to...
blabbering.
Let's start blabbering, indeed. Whoa, I almost knocked my stand down then. That would have been a terrible disaster. People would have seen all the stuff that's still piled up. Oh my gosh, it's been that kind of week where we cleared out that Hagen store and we sent in most of the product, but there's still a pile of stuff that we have to, the stragglers to send in. So we're waiting for Amazon to get our shipments up and running and selling, and life will be good. Q4, yay! How is everybody doing? How is your Q4 going? Are you almost ready for Christmas? Do you feel ready for Christmas, Isaac?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I think our plan is to finish clearing the living room of the rest of the product we have here, and then get a Christmas tree. We're a bit slow, but my excuse is being British that we don't get Christmas trees until like much later in the month.
Our living room is going to convert from basically a warehouse, like an Amazon shipping warehouse, into a video game station.
That's pretty much it. We'll stop sending in product and we'll play some video games. I think that's our Christmas plan. So we've got a lot of questions. Oh my gosh, I kind of was a bit slow on advertising the Blab, but I put it out this morning and said, guys, we're going to be blabbing. And please send your questions, your requests to be a guest, and anything else. And please send those now. And we just got a ton of questions. I have a bazillion questions to go through. So we're going to try and work our way through them and answer as many questions as we can about your questions about Amazon, e-commerce, social media marketing, your business, Christmas, Q4, tax, and anything else we have that people have asked about. And it is a big list. There are a lot of questions. So how should we do this? We might have a couple of guests. We've got a couple of guest coaches who said they might be able to pop in, they might not. I really want to get Bea on. But I think she's taking her son to his Christmas play today. But she said if she manages to get a break, she's going to stop by. So we will drop in everything to talk to Bea. That's Bea B. Bab from itsbea.com. Who is just, she knows so much about ungating, and it's a very tricky subject at the moment. So hopefully she might pop in. I was talking to Jesse about marketing. He said he might pop in, or he might come in next week to talk to us.
Oh, cool.
And we might have a guest. Kelly sent me a message just now, and she might be able to come on as a guest for coaching. So it would be cool if anyone wants some coaching. I'm not doing any private coaching at the moment. And I've been getting lots of questions, still getting a lot of questions about private coaching. I'm not doing it at the moment. So this is a chance to get coaching. It's not exactly private. There's a lot of people watching, but it's pretty fun. And you get the feedback from everybody else who's watching as well. So if you do want to come on camera, have a little bit of coaching, 10 minutes talking to us on the show. Diana did it. And Jordan came on last week, and it's a really fun thing to do. So if you would like to do that, send us a message or shout, which would be really cool. Oh, there's Katie McCaffrey. She's an awesome lady. Cool. She just said hi there. So let's start with some of the questions. And we've got a lot of talking points. I know you've got a list there, Isaac, too. And let me just pick a good one. They're all good ones. But what should we start with? Okay. I'm going through... Okay, I'm going to start with an easy one. Hi, Kelly. If you would like to come on... Oh, yeah, come on next week as a guest. That would be awesome. You would be very welcome. Okay, we've got Kelly lined up for next week. It's okay, because we actually have so many questions that it's going to take us now to get through them all anyway. Okay, let's start with Melissa. Melissa here had 2 questions. I'm going to start with the easiest one, I think. And she said, what do we start sourcing now fitness, exercise, and Valentine's, I'm assuming. So she's thinking New Year, she's thinking Valentine's, which is awesome. And then she says, what sort of things, especially for Valentine's? I know flowers, cards, chocolate, but what else? And what type of things are good to buy after Christmas when the clearance happens? So that's a pretty big question just to start us off. So she's asking what to buy to get ready. Okay, we're done with Christmas. I think we can safely say now this is the cutoff point for Christmas. Like, send it in now or forever hold your boxes. Yeah. So she's asking, what next? What do we do for January and February? Isaac, thoughts?
Well, I know we talked about this last time, is that sales continue on in January. So as far as January goes, you'll still see an increase of sales. At least I believe most people will. It's still wintertime. So, I mean, anything winter related.
Blankets. We were talking, and it's funny because we periscoped last week and we were, and I posted in the group, blankets right now are insane. Ralph Lauren blankets, Calvin Klein blankets, they are all selling in Marshalls and TJ Maxx. The little throw blankets are $19.99, and the bigger ones are $29.99. And those are all selling around $50 to $80. And I posted about them in Treasure Hunting, and a bunch of people went, yep, just sold out of my blankets. Yep, blankets are rolling away. So I think you're 100% right. And another thing, and riffing off what you said there, cold remedies, like remedies, tissues. Tissues are crazy. Last year, one of my biggest sellers, I haven't looked at it this year. I just didn't get time this year. One of my big sellers last year was Christmas themed tissues. And
that's right.
bought them like crazy, Kleenex tissues with Christmas. And I think what I did, I made a listing for each design. Mm-hmm. And people went mad for them. They had like Santa Claus ones or Christmas tree ones or whatever they had on. And that's a really good example of creating a listing for something that's kind of obvious, kind of boring, but fiddly. And most sellers are lazy. Most sellers, if they do create a listing, they'll see there are like Santa tissues, Christmas tree tissues. And what they'll do is they'll just say Christmas themed tissues. Designs may vary. Packaging may vary. Customers don't want that. They want to be like, I want Santa tissues. I don't know why. It's a thing. People are like, I want Santa tissues. And that's what you do. You create a listing for each individual design of the tissues. Even if you have to buy a UPC or ask Amazon to create the listing for you, because you can't have multiple things on one UPC without Amazon setting it up for you. But it's a really simple way of selling things like that. So I wanted to talk briefly Valentine's as well, because Melissa said, another thing, and we got lucky with Hagen's that nicotine patches and nicotine gum, huge. Anything weight loss, stop smoking, courses and education. People are all ready to do new educational things in the new year. Like, just think what people get excited about in the new year. It's like a time for new beginnings. Yay. And then Valentine's Day, talking new beginnings, proposals, romantic things, new relationships, dating.
New Year's resolution bundles.
Yes. And that's a great idea. Do the New Year's resolution bundles. And what about doing, like, thinking in terms of bundles, a stopping smoking bundle, a weight loss bundle? Like, you could, I don't know, you could have like maybe weight loss products, something like fitness products with a journal, an accompanying journal. You can't have a journal as the main item in a bundle because Amazon won't let you have books as a primary item, but you can have an accompanying journal. You could, I don't know, what else could you, yoga mats, fitness balls, like weight loss products like green tea detox kits.
Yep.
You know all those girls that stand in the mall and say, here, do you want to drink our weird juice? It'll detox you. Like, I could see making a bundle, a sort of New Year's resolution bundle right there.
Yep. Absolutely. I want to back up a bit. Someone asked what category are blankets under?
They're under home.
Okay.
They're easy to list. This is what's great about blankets. You don't need to be ungated. So boom.
Hey.
Guyland's got a great idea. What about a lover's blanket with a picture of the couple on the blanket? Great idea. I think you would need to look into Amazon Custom for that, where you can actually make custom products for people. You probably would not be able to do that through regular FBA, but that is an awesome, awesome idea for a custom product, or for Etsy or eBay, maybe even. I don't know can you do custom products on eBay? I don't know about that, but Etsy or custom, boom. And Guyland, that's actually a really good thinking, because what I would say for Valentine's, start thinking niches. And I've had a few people say, what do we sell for Valentine's Day? And here's where everyone goes wrong with Valentine's Day. What do you think of, Isaac? What do you think of for Valentine's Day?
Hearts and flowers. Chocolate.
Okay. No one wants hearts and flowers and chocolate. Well, I want chocolate. I always want chocolate.
I don't know.
But boring. Let me tell you the secret of Valentine's Day. If you are interested in something in your life, whatever it is, whether it's like St. Bernard dogs, whether it's tiki girls, whether it's motorbikes or tattoos, or what else are people interested in? Like stuff.
Yeah.
What are you interested in, Isaac? Like nerd stuff, flying robots.
Sure. Yeah. My new mug.
Isaac's got a robot mug.
Yes.
Flying robot. Isaac likes flying robots. So he doesn't want hearts and flowers for Valentine's Day because that's lame. No one really wants that. So I know that Isaac likes things like drones and GoPro cameras and robots and like Raspberry Pi kits. So I'm going to find you those kind of things for Valentine's Day and just try and like romantify them a bit.
Yeah, and I think one of the best gifts that you can give or even receive is something that pertains to you specifically, like something that's unique about you. And also it says something about your relationship with that person. Like if you guys have an inside joke, a lot of people in my circle of friends know me as like the geek tech guy. There are other circle of friends I have.
Everyone knows you as that.
What was that?
Everyone knows you as that.
Right. But I do have some friends, especially childhood friends. They don't see me that way. They see me as the guitar guy because all they know about me is I played guitar growing up, and that's all I was obsessed about. So if they were to give me a gift, what was that?
Oh, I was just trolling.
I said if they were to give me a gift that pertained to like something of guitar, that not only would it pertain to a part of my personality, but also it shows a trace of our relationship and our friendship and what was it we shared about our relationship. So I guess there's that aspect as well.
That's exactly it. So I think what we're saying here is think of very specific things that people are into, like just regular things, regular niches, that are gift sets, and just see if you can find a way to make them a bit more romantic. I don't know, you could add gift packaging to them. You can you can bundle them with products that kind of make it a bit more romantic. So if someone loves Snoopy, then do a Snoopy toy with, heart-shaped chocolates that match the Snoopy toy. Like have Snoopy carrying a heart with matching heart-shaped chocolates. Or like there are a lot of ways of. I'm kind of in bundle mode. I'm just realizing I'm kind of bundle casting. I know, it's like a little bundle casting.
Your brain's going off right now.
I know, and I've got to hold back because we're going to have a bundle cast. We're going to do a Valentine's bundle cast very, very soon for Valentine bundlers. But yeah, I'll hold back a little bit. But my answer is basically think niches. Think of interests. And be very specific about the person. Like it helps people to picture their friends, to picture people they know and say, what would this person like? And that's kind of the answer to any gift product you want to sell on Amazon. Think of people you know, or television characters, or film characters, or we put out the Facebook Magic thing, and I'm going to talk a bit more about Facebook Magic as we go on. But in Facebook Magic, we learned how to use Facebook to come up with audiences with very specific interests. And I want to revisit this because we had another question about that. But you can also use that, just target very particular people with interests. Did you have anything, Isaac? I was just reading this other question down the side.
No, I think that covers it.
Okay, so West Coast N says, when do you think the cutoff is for New Year's resolution bundles? I would assume it could last longer than the beginning weeks of January. Absolutely. And this is a thing about seasonal bundles. And I know there's some controversy about seasonal bundles. People are like, well, it's a lot of work just for one season. And it's not really like that. Like everyone was saying in the group earlier today, there was a sort of conversation about seasonal bundles. And the consensus was that seasons are when you have big, big peaks in sales. Like Valentine's Day, back to school, Halloween, Mother's Day, like all these holidays are when you have a big peak in sales. But the rest of the year, things continue. People will still buy spooky, scary things outside of Halloween. People will buy romantic gifts for proposals or for holidays or birthdays outside of Valentine's Day. So seasons last all year if you're really smart about what you're bundling. But you will just see a peak around the particular holiday. Oh, clearance as well. Sherry just said... and I know that was in Melissa's question as well. She said, what should we look out for in clearance? I have an answer to that. Have you any thoughts, Isaac?
I'll let you take that one.
Okay, what I would say about clearance after Christmas, buy all the things, buy everything. Like, guys, the
higher the discount, the more incentive you need to buy.
Right, and that's it. I mean, a couple of things. Bear in mind that CVS, Rite Aid, Walgreens will likely be clearing out the same products in all their stores across the country, which means that a lot of other sellers will be buying the same products as you. Now, that's okay. I'll share the one thing that kind of sucked in the clearance this year. I cleared out CVS. And the most important thing first is a big discount, as you said, Isaac. You were 100% right that you need a big discount. I buy when it's like 75% off. 50% off, probably not. But 75% off, yes, that's usually good. Couple of things. Use Camel. Look at what the prices did on those products last year. See, a lot of the time you'll see they do tank, but then they start coming up again around July, August, September. So if you're prepared to wait on them, cool, that's good. A lot of products, and I'll tell you the ones that rocked for me this year, appliances, things like toasters, like novelty waffle makers, those kind of things, those rocked after January. And I sold them all almost straight away. And there was Christmas stuff like the Charlie Brown trees, boom, those all sold for me right away. The flakiest items, Chia Pets, and the reason why, because they had expiry dates on them.
Oh, okay.
They expired in July, and what happened was a lot of sellers bought Chia Pets. I did okay with them. I got rid of them. I sold them all, but not with the margins I was hoping for on all of them. I think one or two did okay, but on a lot of them, the margins weren't that great because the price kind of tanked after Christmas, and because of the expiration date, it didn't have time to recover. Because they expired, I think, in July. Okay. So they didn't have time to recover. So be careful of anything with expiration dates in post-Christmas clearance. But wow, that kind of ended up being a big question. Okay, so I'll do someone else's question. Melissa does have another question, but I think I'll revisit that one.
Okay.
Okay, I've got an easy one from, well, it's not an easy one. It's a good one from Nathan Pennington. He just sent a question. And he just joined the Facebook Magic group. Yay! So I'm going to just give a shout out to Facebook Magic. A few people joined this week. So Facebook Magic was a class I did last month It was pretty much a month ago.
Yeah.
And it was a 2-hour live class. And we went over two things primarily. We went over how to use Facebook to research an audience and learn about audiences that are out there. And we did how to reach those audiences, how to create pages, how to create adverts. I had a case study about a page that I made on Facebook and how I populated that with likes and followers. Basically in a weekend. It was like create a page in a weekend and start building your brand. So we had a lot of people join the Facebook Magic, and you can still actually join that if you are interested. I don't know if someone can you type the link, Isaac?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's FB Magic. So you can still actually get the replay of that. We are still kind of selling that as a class. And you can join the replay of that, and you get access to our Social Magic Facebook group, which is kind of growing slowly. But it's kind of fun. It's where we're exploring ideas in social media marketing. So anyway, Nathan just joined that group and took that class, and he said using research in Facebook to learn about audiences. It seems quite intuitive how you would select an audience, see their interests, and get ideas for gift-related products and bundles to list on Amazon. However, it seems like you should be able to use the same information to come up with non-gift ideas. That is, practical kits, starter packs, and things like that. But I'm not quite sure where to go with that. Any thoughts? That's a really good question. I like this question. Do you have any thoughts on so what he's saying is he's using Facebook, he's doing research to find cool audiences, what they like, what their interests are, and you can find amazing stuff with Facebook. You can find out like their salaries, their houses, their family setup. So he's finding profiles of audiences, what they like. And he's saying, okay, from that, it's easy to see what you would get people as a gift, but what would you do to create kits, which are kind of replenishable all year round?
Right. Well, I think the most important thing is to first identify your audience and really get to know, like, try to create a stereotype of that audience. What is it that drives them? What is it that makes them tick? What is it they really want? And what is it they're trying to accomplish? And so you can all sum that up into what are their needs. And I use the term like loosely needs, because if someone is pro environment, their needs are going to be, something to save the environment, either their own environment or on a global scale. But someone else, who doesn't care about the environment, that's not a need for them. So to put that in perspective. So figure out what makes them tick. Once you figure out what makes them tick, what is it you can do to aid them in their journey, their adventures in life? And I think that's where you would start.
That's a really cool answer. I like that. So like gifts are kind of about people's wants, but like a kit is about someone's needs.
Yes.
I like that. And I like, think about what you could use to help someone's journey in life. I think that's a lovely answer. I've got one kind of practical thought on that, and I'm going to post it in the group. Actually, I'm just going to post it in chat. There's a website called WikiHow, and it's pretty awesome actually. If you look at this website, wikihow.com, it has just how-tos of all kinds of things. Like I'm looking at it, it's got how to do winged eyeliner, how to cure a fever, how to cut paper snowflakes, how to train a Siberian husky, and how to be an air traffic controller. And that's just one little row of things to do and how-tos.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I just wanted to share that page because I thought people might... I just posted it there, the wikihow.com. It's a website that's full of how-to guides. So if you're thinking of making a kit, what you could do is use Facebook to get an idea of your audience, what they're interested in, what their needs are. So you can look at and see if people are looking at fitness pages, dog training pages, like craft pages, and then you can kind of ride off that by looking at those topics on Wiki How To or Instructables. You just posted Instructables, or even Pinterest. How do those interests translate into a physical thing that they want to do? Okay, I want to lose weight. I want to train a dog. I want to do my eyeliner right. What do I need? Okay, if I want to do winged eyeliner, that's getting a lot of hits on WikiHow. It's getting a lot of hits on Instructables or Pinterest, and everyone's asking, how do I do winged eyeliner? Then I might want to make a kit with sponges that you can wipe it with, brushes, eyeliner, pens, like cleansers so you can get it off, and just do the complete winged eyeliner kit. And I mean, or it says how to train a husky. Why not make a husky training kit with like a clicker and a whistle and treats, and like it's like a replenishable bundle that you can use as a gift, a kit, a how-to.
Right, and one thing I'd like to note in case people miss this is that how to train a husky kit can be a regular kit that can be used for any dogs. However, marketing specifically to husky owners and husky lovers changes the way people perceive the product.
Absolutely. And we were talking about this yesterday with the Nurofen thread. And we kind of talked about that you can take anything like dog training, like a regular dog basket, and you can sell that as a basket for poodle owners or Labrador owners or pit bull owners. And the reason this came up, we were looking at a news story about Nurofen, which is kind of like Tylenol, I think, in the UK and Australia. And they were told they had to remove their products from the shelves. And the reason why, and this is so brilliant and so funny, they took the same drug, which is basically Tylenol or Nurofen, and then they just put it in like 10 different packages and said Nurofen for back pain, Nurofen for headaches, Nurofen for migraines. And like that's such genius marketing, because you walk, I know what it's like. You walk into CVS and you're like, oh, I got a headache. I need to get something for a headache. Oh, I got period pain. I need, like, you have a very specific feeling in mind when you walk into CVS. Yep. And you're going to buy you're not going to buy the box that says for headaches if you've got a stomach ache. And it's, even if it's the same drug. And I think this is something to really bear in mind if you are doing white label, particularly. You can sell the same product. It's called reskinning. Yeah. You can reskin a product, take the same product and skin it with whatever is going to appeal to a particular customer. And I know in the group, I use the example of like lavender soap. You could take lavender soap and you could put it in, I don't know, a flowery package and sell it to older people and say, this is for older people who love the nostalgic smell of lavender. You can put it in trendy modern packaging and say, this is for moms who have just had a baby and need to relax. You can put it in like stressed executive, like you can target all these different people with the same product. You just have to make it appeal to them. So we were talking husky training. So husky training is the same as anything else, just you do it in a husky t-shirt. And you could sell that bundle over and over again. The clicker, the treats, like, I don't know, what would you have? A clicker, dog treats, a whistle, and then just maybe team it with like a t-shirt, like a husky t-shirt or can you sell dog treats in a bundle on Amazon? Yes, you can. You don't have to be approved for anything actually for pet products. So pets are another easy category that you don't need any approvals for, any ungating for. Okay, I've got a really boring, quick question that came up a couple of times. Actually, it's not a boring question. It's a very practical question. From Nader asked it, but it was also asked in the group today. How do we get ready for year-end tax stuff? What should we do? Are there reports that should be run in Seller Central? Oh, hold on, I'm just cutting and pasting a link. this is the first year I've run Q4, and I don't know what to do for tax. What reports do I run? So I'm going to give you guys one tip. On New Year's Day, on January the 1st, and I will post this in the group if I remember. On January the 1st, go to reports and then click fulfillment and select Amazon fulfilled inventory and download that report. If you do nothing else on January the 1st, download Amazon fulfilled inventory. And that will give you a snapshot of your inventory currently in Amazon's warehouse. Even if you don't know quite what you're going to do with it, just save that and use that one. If you're using something like Inventory Lab, then great. You should have all your inventory listed in there. But that is something your accountant will probably want to see. Other than that, I'm going to give you guys a link. And that link there is fulltimefba.com. And I'm giving a shout out to Stephen Smotherman, who's a very nice gentleman. He runs fulltimefba.com. And he actually did a blog post there, how to run the end of the year inventory sales reports for tax purposes. And it's like, that's an awesome bit of information on that page. So I referenced it last year. I will reference it again because
we don't like talking about taxes.
we don't want to do tax. And Stephen does such a good job of it that I'm posting his link right there. So cool. That's kind of the taxi reporty thing posted there. I wanted to give a shout out to Terry Freeland Jones. Guess what she did, Isaac?
What did she do?
She used Katwords from the Blue Sky suite.
Yes. So
we have a very sneaky tool called Katwords, which actually pulls words. It looks at the most popular. I don't know. How do you describe it, Isaac? How would you describe Katwords?
It's
magic.
Wait,
it takes.
Go on. Go right ahead.
I didn't mean to talk over you, but it basically, you take the top 100 best-selling products from every category and analyze what the most popular words are in those categories. Is that right? In the products that are selling in those categories.
Yep.
She said she used Katwords, and this is what she said: my very first bundle just started to sell after sitting for 8 months. She used Katwords. She logged into Blue Sky. She took the Blue Sky class. She used the Katwords, raised the price by $5, and they sold out. Boom.
Yes.
Lol, happy. Thanks, Catherine and Isaac. Wow. So there you go. That's the power of. I know people who are using Blue Sky Suite are mostly using Skywords. Yeah. So it's kind of exciting. And Skywords is what I keep posting in the groups. I'm very happy. If anyone wants me to run a Skywords report for them, I'm always happy to do that. And Skywords basically gives you great keyword suggestions and looks for products that people are searching for, keywords that people are searching for. So I'm always happy to run a Skywords report, but it was kind of exciting to see someone use Katwords and have success.
Yeah, it was one of those features. I mean, when developing the Blue Sky Suite, like, we had a zillion ideas on what we could do with it, and we had to really narrow it down because there's only 2 of us on what are the most important ones. And so the Katwords was one of those features that almost didn't make it because we weren't sure about the value of it. But I thought very strongly about it because I feel getting items, the top 100 products for each category, and looking at those words that are being used, I felt were very valuable, only because we know people are typing in those words to search for products.
We've got a question now. When will there be a new Blue Sky white label group? Watch this space. Watch this space. I am revamping white label as we speak. And I think my feeling is to do a white label 2.0 and kind of add it with bundles and do something kind of nifty with it. So we're working on that right now. We're hoping to have something new out there as soon after Christmas as possible, when you guys have kind of got over the rush of Christmas. Hopefully in time to put together white label products, if not for Valentine's Day, then for Easter, Mother's Day. So we will be running it again. It's going to probably be in a slightly different format. I want to re-record some videos. My voice wasn't where I wanted it to be. So I think we're definitely gonna run it again. It had great feedback. Some people have really, really made great progress with their products. We've seen Diana had lovely gift tags. She sold them out right away. Jordan had his mugs. Like, people are putting out cool products out there. And so we only ran it with 100 people. It was kept very small. And we do want to run it again and make it a bigger, more solid, ongoing thing like bundles. And we want to keep it tied in with the Blue Sky Suite software, so you can use the software as well, which has been just incredibly powerful for a lot of, like, people are digging the software. We're getting some likes and kudos there. So you did a good job, Isaac. It's a pretty amazing software. It was all you. So yeah, we will be doing Blue Sky all over again next year. And first, people, don't worry. We will sort something out for you. We always try and take care of. You can sign up for more information at blueskysuite.com to get on the waiting list and to get more information. But we always try and take care of the people that do support our classes and courses, and try and give them big discounts or get them onto subsequent courses. So there's that. Cool. Okay. Christopher had two good questions. I'm going to answer the quick one. So he said, I have a book written for Kindle. How do I upload it? Okay, that's an easy question. Go to KDP. That's Kindle Direct Publishing, KDP, and you can upload it there. You need a PDF file of your book, and it needs to be formatted right. I used Fiverr. I went on Fiverr. I found a very lovely VA who would help me, who formatted my book for me in an evening. It looks great. It's sold. It's been absolutely effective. And you need a cover, but they have a cover creator in there. Or you can get someone to design a cover for you. So it kind of depends how much you want to invest in your book for Kindle. But yeah, I would recommend getting a Fiverr person who can format a Kindle book for you, because it's worth it. It will take so much time off it for you. And I wanted to add something quick about Kindle as we're mentioning it. Kindle has advertising. It's pretty cool. You can advertise your Kindle books now, which is really, really interesting. So if you guys can put together books on niche subjects, I really recommend doing that, because now you can advertise them. I made a video about CreateSpace, ideas for making products with CreateSpace. And you can make a book without being a writer. This is like the big thing. Nowadays, you can make a book without being a writer. There is a ton of public domain information out there that you can use, either from physical books that you can scan, like old books, pre-1920s books that you can scan. There's a lot of electronic information. Is it the Gutenberg project? Project Gutenberg? Is that? Yeah. There's a lot of picture places. You can make coloring books. You can make journals, like without any information in, just a beautifully formatted journal. Like, there are so many ways you can go with a book. So the key is target a niche. And there's even things like public domain recipes. So you can make like smoothie recipes or weight loss recipes or whatever you want to do. And if you have a good niche, you can make a book, advertise it, and get sales. So you can't use keywords, I think. I'll make a post about Kindle advertising. It's kind of weird. I think you have to target existing products. So you have to target people who are looking at existing products, but it's definitely good niche selling. It's being able to advertise on Kindle is a big, big game changer.
The difficulty.
It's very cheap. Go ahead.
I was going to say, the difficulty with ebooks is the same thing with, I guess, with merch, is visibility and just getting seen in general. So, I mean, you can have a great product, you can have, a great title, something that's really going to entice people. It's really targeted. But again, you're still dealing with the issue of visibility. So these ads are a great way just to get seen. and
Right.
just getting the book out there.
And that's it. I mean, like all of these extra products, like Amazon FBA is great. I love Amazon FBA because of the SEO, because you can put keywords in and get people coming to you just based on keywords, and you have PPC, pay-per-click advertising. But Kindle and merch have been harder, and CreateSpace is harder because you do not have that organic traffic coming to your searches. So what you need to do is use Facebook or use other social media methods to bring people to your listings. But this is pretty exciting now that they have that as an option. They have the advertising within Kindle. People are asking, how much did a Fiverr person cost? I think I paid like $20 to get it all done.
Right.
It will depend on the exact person you hire, but I think it cost me about $20. And my ebook just keeps, like, it's constantly selling a few copies every
month. You wrote
it
in one night, I remember.
I did. The perfect feedback book one night. I was just up one night and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to put everything I know about feedback into a book. Boom. Okay, done. Ebook. Because sometimes, like, I kept getting the same questions about feedback, so it was just easier to just put it all in an ebook. And in fact, anyone who has a specialist subject, what's the thing you get asked about the most? That answer might be an ebook for you.
Yeah.
Just, it doesn't have to be long. Just 30 pages on with diagrams and whatever it is, that the information that you know, and sell it for $3.99. You will still make enough for maybe to go out for dinner each month for one evening's work.
Right.
Okay, let me look at questions. Oh, Christopher Gilbert had another nice question. This is kind of a fun one. How do you keep your work-life balance and keep stress from hurting you during the rush of sourcing and Q4 and all the other duties? How do we cope, Isaac? What do we do?
Keep you laugh PG. A lot.
Yes.
You find the fun in anything you're doing.
That's kind of, it's funny. I mean, like, this is kind of why we have fun things going on. Like, it's too easy to get bogged down in business, and just it can get really wearing if you just talk about like tax and accounting and just things like that. It is not fun. You've got to keep things fun. Work together, have a partner, have someone that you can talk to. If you don't have a partner or someone that you can talk to about the business, join groups, make friends. It's easy now to find meetups, to find Facebook groups where you can talk about the business, but also find, like, even if it's just once a week, do something else. Like, go do improv, go read poetry, go, like, schedule something fun and non-Amazon related, because it will do you good. It will do your business good, because the more knowledge you have, the more interests you have, the more you can apply those to your business. So, like, keep things fun. I love your answer, Isaac. That's such a great answer. I'm going to give you some kudos.
I don't know, Catherine and I, we always talk about, I remember early in our relationship, Catherine explained to me this concept of spoons, and that you only have the spoons, you have like a bowl of spoons, and each spoon represents your energy, and you only have so much energy in the day. And so the idea is that whatever you do throughout the day, you have to think, how many spoons is this going to cost me? And how much energy is it going to take? Because at the end of the day, you don't want to run out of spoons, because then you're going to get into a negative space. And so I find there's certain things that are more draining than other activities. You can be working really, really hard, and you can be stressed, but for some reason it doesn't drain. It doesn't have this negative emotional drain on you as it does as like reading like something really negative on Facebook.
Right, like talking to a really difficult person takes a lot of spoons. Talking to your friends doesn't take many spoons. Melissa's just shared that. She said when diagnosed with fibromyalgia, she heard about the spoon theory.
Okay, yeah.
And I know this comes up a lot when people talk about chronic illness or chronic disabilities or issues that affect their health when they're working. And it's kind of important to keep track of your spoons and recognize when something's draining your spoons. Yeah. And I think Facebook, for me, can be a big, big spoon drain. Like if there are people who are like very like argumentative or stressful on your Facebook feed, that to me kind of sucks my spoons. I just need to kind of back away from things like that, because I would rather keep my emotional energy to be positive and work on sort of being productive. So yeah, spoons and self-care. Think spoons. Yeah. Okay, what else did we have here? Oh, I've got a really quick one here that we just had a little bit of controversy about in the group. Little bit of controversy. Expiration dates. Whose responsibility? So this is an interesting one. Someone asked in the group, I'm sorry, I don't remember who asked, but they said, if I send in products that are going to expire, do I need to keep track of them? And this is kind of controversial. Because most big sellers will say it is impossible to keep track of this without like uploading different SKUs for each expiring product, and then like working out which day they go on sale and juggling it around. It's very, very difficult, because here's the thing. I could sell, so I have my lovely quinoa chips here that expire in, I don't know, when do they expire? June. And I could buy like 10 packs of these, and 5 of them expire in June, 5 of them expire in May. Okay, I'm going to go out there and say it is Amazon's responsibility, because, and I will say there is a link to it in the policies, and this is what Amazon's policy says. A product that has an expiration date may be listed with FBA as long as the unit is lot controlled and the remaining shelf life is greater than 90 days from the time of receipt by Amazon. Units that are within 50 days of the expiration date will be removed for disposal by Amazon. It is there in black and white in the policies. They will remove your products for disposal. It is Amazon's responsibility. Now, a couple of people are saying, no, they might not remove them and you will get into trouble. What I will say, most people I have spoken to have said that no, I've never had a problem with this. I have never kept track of it, and I have, touched wood, never had an expiration problem. And most people who have had negative feedback that I've spoken to have had it removed by Amazon with no problems and no issues. Now,
can I play devil's advocate for a second?
Yes.
Okay, so Amazon has their policies, they have the rules, but Amazon, their seller support can be a bit unpredictable and sometimes contradict their own policies. So
that's true.
We sometimes have to rely on anecdotal evidence, kind of street knowledge, to survive in this business. And I mean, that's kind of the truth. Word on the street is, this might get you in trouble, kind of thing. So with that being said, is there any? No, go on. Yeah, is there anyone who's claiming that they've personally have ran into issues with dates where Amazon went and gave them a policy warning?
I do not know of anyone that has personally been suspended or banned or had any serious performance notification for an expiration date. Now, one person in the group who deals with suspensions says they have had someone or more people. I don't know. I'll take her word for it, but she says that she does know people that have had issues. I personally have never heard of anyone having that as an issue. Now, what I will say, if you are relying on Amazon to pull your expired product, label it super, super clearly. There is a dates file in our group where you can fill out the dates in big font clearly and stick them on your product. My suspicion is the people who have run into trouble with their expiration dates don't have them labeled clearly or have labeled them incorrectly, or the label has come off. But I think if you label it clearly, you have a very good case with Amazon if you get a negative feedback for expiration. It says there in their policy, you can show this to seller support. Units that are within 50 days of the expiration date will be removed by Amazon. It is part of the FBA service. So that's my answer.
Now, to clarify, we're just talking about FBA. If you're doing merchant fulfilled, it's a different story.
Yeah. Now, merchant fulfilled, that's actually a really good point. And merchant fulfilled, people do some dumb stuff with merchant fulfilled sometimes. And like, I'll give you an example. If you have a bottle of like vitamins or like, I don't know, like diabetic strips or something like that, and it's got a short date on it, technically you can sell it through merchant fulfilled. But if that bottle of vitamins has like 90 vitamins in and you sell it with like 1 month left on the expiration date, someone's either going to be overdosing on vitamins or they're going to be unhappy. Okay. Like, you do not want to buy a bottle of 90 vitamins with only a month left on it. Right. So people have to be kind of smart.
Hi, everyone. Looks like we ran into some weird issue. Okay. I'm back on. People can see me. Yay. Let's see if we can get Catherine back on.
Okay. I think we're back.
Awesome. Yay.
Whoa. I don't know what that was about. We just got kicked, but we are back. I had to wait for Isaac to get back because I didn't want Blab to kick both of us. So I was just sharing a super quick tip about feedback. In another group, I saw someone saying their customer left them a bad feedback. They wanted the customer to remove it. The customer they were happy with the transaction, and they spent, I think, 45 minutes or an hour to seller support, getting the feedback removed. I just wanted to share this tip because most people don't know this about feedback. If you can get a customer to say they want to remove a feedback, and you get them to say that in the buyer messages to you, you just have to show that message to seller support and they will remove the feedback. Woohoo! Hey. So basically, here's a quick shortcut tip to good feedback. If you have an unhappy customer, they left you bad feedback, first of all, make that customer happy. Refund them, whatever you need to do a happy dance for them and film it, whatever you need to do to make that customer happy, make them happy, and then say to them, okay, I hope you are now happy. If you are, would you be willing to consider removing the feedback that you left? And if not, I understand, but just, and if they say, yes, I would like to remove that feedback, you can tell seller support, hey, this person clearly says that they want to remove their feedback. Boom, it is gone. It has worked a bazillion times.
That's really cool.
So you do not need to make your customer jump through hoops. You do not have to say, okay, step one, you've got to click here and then click there and find your feedback. And no, they don't need to do that. They don't need to call seller support. They just need to tell you clearly they want to remove that feedback. Don't harass them. Don't bribe them. Don't do anything dodgy. But if you make them happy first, make them happy, then you can ask them and say, are you willing to remove it? Boom. So that was a super quick tip I wanted to share. So it's a good one. It works. It works really, really well.
Really cool.
Okay, we've got so many questions. I'm trying so hard to get through all the questions.
I know, new ones keep coming in.
Oh my gosh, so there are more. I'm not even looking at my email, so okay. Margaret Hamilton had a few. She said, how do you do packing slips? So she's talking about the new packing slips that are going to be mandatory in January. Boo. I'm not doing them at the moment. I haven't noticed any difference to receiving, and it just seems like a lot of work to me. And I think they're willing to pay you to do a packing slip, but it's like, I don't know, 5 cents an item or something, and I just decided not worth it. But we're gonna have to do it come January, and it's gonna suck. I don't know if there's an easy way to do it, honestly. You just have to download it, stick it into, I use Numbers. You have to just drag it into your spreadsheet software. I use Numbers on the Mac. You can use the Google, I've forgotten what it's called. There's a Google spreadsheet. Sheets. It's called Sheets.
I use that. That's what I use. That's my primary spreadsheet application.
Or Excel. And you just have to drag it into there. But I think the thing that sucks is counting and keeping track of what is in each box. I think this might be easier to do if you're using scan and ship. So you're using a Dymo to label as you go. But I don't know if there's a magic shortcut other than just keeping track of what you put in each box.
Well, that's we like our business model. We still send a large variety of items with low quantities. Mm-hmm. It's probably not a big deal if you're sending only a few variety of items with large quantities of each one.
So if you're doing like white label or private label, or you're just sending in a selection of bundles, that's pretty straightforward. If you're doing retail arbitrage and you have like just onesie twosie stuff all over the place, not fun. So that's kind of the answer. You're just going to need to use your spreadsheet software and do it that way. Isaac, I feel there may be an opportunity here for you to come up with box packing software.
Yeah,
or a robot.
I noted along with everything else on our list of to-dos.
Talking of which, let's talk. There was a really good thread in the Facebook group. And I'm going to get really controversial here. I was stirring the pot. You were like, "Oh, you're so stirring." Because I went, "Hey guys, what do you all think about BOLO lists?" Boom! The whole thing just exploded into a debate on BOLO lists. And I thought it was like, I have no intention of ever selling BOLO lists.
Oh, let me scratch that off the list.
You can take that one off the list. I don't want to make a BOLO list. And it was a really interesting. Why does blog catalog say "come on"? I don't know what. Come on, what? Are we getting controversial here, or
sell a list already?
Oh, how funny! No, I don't want to sell. I do want to share something though. I've got a good way of actually scraping websites and finding cool products that I do want to make a video about.
Know something?
So I may teach you. I may do a video teaching you how to make BOLO lists. Because I've figured out kind of a cool method of doing it, but I don't think anyone else is doing, or at least they're not sharing it.
Not that we've seen, yeah.
So I might do that. I do have a method for finding BOLOs online. But yeah, it's a BOLO list. It's an interesting one. I think, looking at the thread, there were a lot of people who said they had tried BOLO lists and they wouldn't do it again. And there were a couple of people who said, "Yeah, I use them regularly. It works out for me." We had a few thoughts on these. One thought I had right now, I think it's very dangerous getting a BOLO list, because like BOLOing is easy. This is like BOLO.
Like everything is a BOLO right now.
Just buy everything. Just walk into Walmart and just go down the Christmas aisle, buy everything, and just merchant fulfill it this week, and that's your BOLO. So right now I would stay well away, because everything's a BOLO right now.
Especially if you're a new seller. If this is your first year in Amazon, this is your first Q4.
And in January, that's all just going to go. Your products are going to get to the warehouse and it's going to go.
Now, there might be some good BOLO lists. Like, this isn't a diss to all BOLO lists.
Yeah, it is. Let's do it, Isaac.
Well, the chances are, the list you do buy, the chances are, like statistically speaking, you're probably going to get duds.
I'm going to burn my BOLO ring.
Set it on fire.
Burn the BOLO ring. Okay. So, and here's another thing. And I'm going to get really controversial here about BOLOs. What's in it for the BOLO boloers, apart from, okay, they're selling their bolo list. But I have a couple of thoughts. One, most of them are harvesting email addresses. And here's a tip in general, guys. Everyone is giving away stuff right now. Everyone is giving away stuff, like digital content, like get my ebook. I just need your email list, your email address. Get an email address just to get content. Otherwise, they will spam the pants off you.
Yeah, you guys got to understand, whenever something's offered to you for free, it's actually a Trojan horse to continually market to you. And
yes.
that's essentially what's happening.
And
hey, here's my free book. Hey, check out this free video I made. But, let me get your email address and let's keep in touch.
And I saw one worse than that. That they were giving away an ebook, right? There's a certain company that's giving away an ebook, and they just need your email address and your store name. Oh my gosh, you're going to give away your storefront for an ebook? Are you insane? What? I saw that and I could not believe it. It said, here, you can download this ebook. Just fill out your email address and your Amazon store name. I won't give my store name to, you. All right, I give it to you. But, oh my gosh, your storefront is worth more than... And I think this is preying on new sellers who do not realize
absolutely
what their storefront is worth. So, Isaac, if someone knows your store name, what potentially can they do? What do they know from your storefront?
Well, they can get a list of all the products that you are selling in Amazon. They can save that URL and continually visit your store to see what new products you have added and to see what products are missing. They can potentially try to make a purchase. They can enter, I want a quantity of 1,000, and Amazon will come back saying, yeah, they don't have 1,000. You can buy up to 400. So using that tactic, they can see exactly the number of products that are in your store. And, they can either do it manually, they can hire a VA, or they can hire someone like me to make a web scraper that continually searches through your Amazon store on the daily basis. So what can you do? If you have a collection of store names, you're continually analyzing all these stores, you can create a new Bolo list with it.
So what I want to say here, and this is returning to Bolo list. So this is even if you don't give your store name to someone. Okay, so let's say someone creates a Bolo. Let's say I create a Bolo list and I'm going to sell it to 15 people or 20 people, right? If I sell it to 15 or 20 people, they all start selling those products off the Bolo list. It's not going to be rocket science for me to figure out who my customers are. And they're all likely to be buying from the same stores that are on the Bolo list. Boom! Your storefront has just become my new Bolo list to sell to all my customers. This is why I feel there needs to be some education out there about Amazon security, like seller security.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that for a long time.
Do not give your storefront away. Don't keep your storefront to yourself.
So, someone asked, okay, what can you do to secure yourself? I guess just don't be as open. I mean, we definitely like to share and open, but also don't be naive and just give away a bunch of clues that people are going to find your storefront. The other thing is there's a lot of services, applications, online services, whatever you want to call them, that tap into Amazon's APIs. Now, in order for them to use a bunch of these APIs, they need your merchant web account, your merchant, your MWS, I believe, your merchant web service. And basically, it's an Amazon API key that's exclusive to your store. So when you give that account out, a company at that point they have access to your inventory, and they can make as many requests as they want to view your inventory, and you would have no idea that they're doing this. So be very careful. If you're going to sign up for a third-party service, just know that, sign up for a company that you trust. I'll leave it at that.
And we're talking anything. We're talking plugins. We're talking apps. Like anything you use that is searching for products, that is like anything that's looking for like online arbitrage plugins, anything that's like anything potentially has a lot of access to your data, to your store name, and can be used in all kinds of different ways. So use people you trust, work with people you trust. You brought in another
point. So I was talking more of like, like third party, Amazon services. The other thing is, Chrome plugins. There's a huge security with Chrome plugins. A Chrome plugin is basically just a huge JavaScript file or a collection of JavaScript files. And with that, they can track your browser history. They can track a lot of things that you probably would not want them to track. So, I do suspect that a lot of Chrome plugins are actually doing a lot of data scraping.
Yeah, there's a free one that's out there at the moment. There's a new free tracking system, and they are all collecting data. Why they are collecting data is your guess, my guess, but just be aware, guys. Be aware of what people are getting access to. And I'm not saying anyone is doing anything shady. I don't know what people are doing with things. I'm not going to say anyone's doing anything. But I'm just saying there is potential. Data is money, and data can be used for good things. Data can be used to like find things out and to help you guys out. But data can also be used to, and people can do a direct. I mean, I realize that I'm kind of out in the public eye, and I know people have had issues. The people who are in the public eye have had issues with people either stalking their accounts, following their accounts, or directly damaging someone's account. It's not that difficult to do it with Amazon.
Alex Daly mentioned that just about any service you log into is data scraping. And I always joke, I think Facebook is the ultimate form where you just sit down and you just tell Facebook about yourself and they keep it and have a record about you. What we're talking about here is the Amazon community. We're talking about the industry that has emerged from Amazon sellers, where there's a lot of people selling services to Amazon sellers to help you either become a better seller or to take your step to the next level, or maybe to get started. And, the industry as of today is very saturated. There's a lot of online services, a lot of tools, a lot of promoters. I guess we might be included in that. I don't know.
We're pretty shady. We've got our black hats on.
Yeah. The guru, Amazon gurus, they're all over the place propping up, and they're popping up every day. And so these are, I guess, these type of services, if Facebook takes data from me, I really don't care, to be honest with you, because it's not going to hurt me directly. I might figure out something new where it is hurting me. But the worst case scenario, they're just giving advertisers permission to market for me. However, something like your Amazon account, that's something that will hurt you directly. It's going to hurt your business. Why? Because they can devalue the products that you're selling, and it's going to make it harder for you.
Okay. And they can do worse than that, but I'm not going to go into any black hat methods. But they're like, if someone has your storefront, and they just be very careful who you give your storefront to, and also guard your email address, because you don't want to get spammed, and your email address is valuable currency. So get a new email address. I'm not saying don't download ebooks, because ebooks do have a lot of good information. There's a lot of information out there for free, but just have a specified email address that you can use. Alex asked a good question, actually. How do you find a good wholesaler? That's a great question. There's a lot of methods for finding a good wholesaler. One of the simplest ways is go to trade shows and talk to people yourself. Go to ASD, there's trade shows all over the country. And if you have a particular interest, like in electronics or toys, then go and I'm laughing. Blog catalog. I signed up for the bundling course with my email. Yeah, we're selling it to Russia and China.
Now you know our master plan.
Yeah, sorry. You're safe. You're safe with us. I was talking about wholesalers. Yeah, if you have a particular interest for whatever product whatever niche you're interested in, go to a toy fair, go to an electronics fair, talk to people directly. If you can't talk to people directly, then call them. And this is always a tip I kind of liked, that if you go to a store and you're selling a retail arbitrage product, take a look at it and see what company is selling that. look at the manufacturer and call the manufacturer or Google them. And you'll find that a lot of them will say, yeah, we'll take on wholesale clients. You want to make yourself feel as professional as possible before you approach them. It can be a good idea to have a website. You don't necessarily have to. Some wholesalers love Amazon sellers and will happily work with Amazon sellers. Some won't. It's just a matter of just talking and forming relationships with them. Just do a bit of research with Google or do the footwork, or look at wholesale web pages like ASD has a list of wholesalers, and call them and talk to them and find out if they'll work with you.
I'd recommend be as honest as possible. Like, I know some people, they might say, don't mention you're an Amazon seller, just tell them you sell online with your own website. And I'll tell you why I believe it's important to be as honest as possible, is because if everyone's going to the same wholesaler, lying to them, chances are you're going to find yourself competing with a lot of other people.
That's true.
So that's one idea. As long as you're transparent and honest about it, they can be honest with you to tell you, well, we do have quite a few people actually selling our products. The other thing is, if you can establish a relationship with the company owner or maybe a sales rep, maybe you can work on an exclusive deal with them. Because sometimes these wholesalers, they might not have someone on Amazon, but they'd be interested, in having a couple of people on. They just don't want everyone on there to devalue the product. So with transparency, it gives you some leverage for further negotiation. And also, it like I said, it's going to prevent you from getting hurt later on.
That's, yeah, I think honesty is the best policy in general. Like, don't pretend to be something you're not. I think my favorite thing I read was, hey guys, tell a wholesaler that you sell to a large number of clients. Like, that was just the most insane thing I read. Like, okay, selling on Amazon does not mean you sell to a large number of clients. Like, just keep it honest and keep it, just do the right thing, be white hat. And, it works out. If you're honest with a wholesaler, they'll enjoy working with you. Like, my coffee people have come back to me and said, hey, like, how's it going? Are you enjoying this? You might, like, they give me ideas and kind of work with me on things. And if you find a good wholesaler, you can build a good relationship. No, I would not represent. Well, okay, so that's an interesting question. West Coast M21 says, you wouldn't represent yourself as the purchasing agent for company XYZ. No, but I'm going to put a caveat here. I work with American suppliers. I don't work with Chinese suppliers or overseas suppliers. So I don't personally have any experience of buying from China. I've used Alibaba Express, but I do not buy in quantity from China. So what I have heard, what I understand, is that the to-do thing when you are buying from China is to say, I am the purchasing agent for this company and my boss says this, and you represent yourself as being a giant big company. That to me is kind of one reason I really don't want to work with Chinese companies. I don't want to have to be in a position where I'm representing myself, I'm playing games, I'm misrepresenting. So personally, no, I wouldn't represent myself that way. I'd work with, I work primarily with US suppliers, maybe European suppliers as well, that I can be honest with, that I can build a relationship with that way. If you are working with large Chinese factories, then you might want to get advice and work with someone in China, work with an agent, and follow the protocols for working in that company. So that's what I would say there. Sharon says, what's the name of the company? We were talking about ASD. ASD is, we love ASD personally. We work with ASD. They let us go and teach classes there and speak there and do fun things at ASD. So we're big fans of ASD, which is pretty much the biggest trade show in the US, the biggest retail trade show. It's in Las Vegas twice a year in February and August. We will be there in February in force. It'll be fun. And basically, whatever you're interested in buying or sell to resell, ASD is a great place to go and just scope everything out, check out the goods and find things that you want to sell. Like in any category, it's pretty exciting.
It's huge.
Cool. Do I have any other questions? I think we've pretty much worked our way through All the questions I've got. Are US suppliers competitive in price, taking shipping into account? That's a really good question, and I think it kind of depends on what it is you're selling. My focus tends to be on white label products or on bundles. So if you're selling white label products, being competitive in price isn't such a big issue, because sorry, I was getting distracted reading other things. It's not so much about being competitive in price, because you are creating products from scratch with white label. So I'm a big fan of white label just because you are creating products that no one else can compete against. If I have the only bulldog training kit on Amazon, I'm not so worried about price, because people who want a bulldog training kit will only come to me. Now, if you're doing private label and you're doing like garlic pressers and just like regular plain kitchen tools that aren't niche or there's nothing special about them, then you want to compete on price. So it's kind of different markets, and it kind of depends how you're doing wholesale. So it depends on your take on it. The private label model, buying from China and just changing the brand and selling hot products, is very different from the white label model, where I'm buying from the US and I'm creating products from scratch. So very different, and a really good question. Really, really good question. Yeah. Paint Me Brave, a friend is brand new to FBA business model, suggest links. Yes! Treasure hunting with Catherine on Facebook. Yes! My YouTube video, introduction to Amazon FBA, and my bundle class, Catherine.com/bundle. In fact, honestly, I just tell everyone now, just do the bundle class, and that will kind of get you started, whatever you, because it's not really just bundles now. It's kind of
merged, yeah.
But we are looking next year at doing something more comprehensive, like next month, I think, and sort of finding a way to bring in white label bundles, retail arbitrage, and sort of kind of merge them all so that it kind of covers everything.
Yeah, and probably should get into the last question, which was
Melissa had a question as well.
Oh, okay, go on ahead.
No, she just said, can we talk about her other? I'm posting the link to bundles, and I'm posting it with the discount code. So if you can click there and sign up with the discount code, which is awesome. Look at us being all hardcore marketing, Isaac.
I know.
Wow, it's like a webinar.
Yeah. I would like to backtrack a little bit in that one thing about the email things. There's a lot of affiliates going on, and that's part of the reason why we don't really get involved with affiliates, because that when people use your email at that point, they can use that to market to you, and also, you know, they network with a lot of other services and programs, and they get a kickback for selling that service to you, and that's just something we personally try to avoid.
Are you ranting about affiliates again?
I'm not ranting about affiliates. I'm just saying that with the email thing.
But yeah, I think we've covered the. I think we've affiliated to death.
I know.
Yeah, just stay true, guys. And that was another question I wanted. Oh my gosh, there's still a bunch of questions, and we've already run on like half an hour. Melissa said, "Can we answer her other question?" This was her other idea. Okay, so she's looking at all the business models. She says, there's so many models. I don't know if I'm creative enough to do bundles. I love the wholesale idea, but I only have a small budget. I love the idea of online arbitrage because it would be nice to shop from home. Private label sounds interesting, but I don't know enough about it. What should I do? Oh my gosh, I am overwhelmed with just ideas and business models. Great question, Melissa. Really, this is like, so okay. These labels are artificial. Like, they are artificial. Like
what?
Online arbitrage, retail arbitrage, private label, white label.
I can't major on this subject in college? Yeah,
this is like if you go to university and you go, well, I got a degree in private label, so I'm a private label specialist. It's all made up. These are all made up to sell you courses, except bundles. Bundles are great. But, okay, no. Here's the thing. there are really two parts to selling online: sourcing and selling. And here's the thing, like, you can source online, you can source wholesale, you can source retail, you can source all these different places. And Isaac's amazing phone sourcing, phone arbitrage. What do you call it, Isaac?
I call it phone sourcing.
This is like your concept you're working on.
It is. I am.
Can you just explain how phone sourcing works?
Yeah. So what you do is you either go on the internet or you look at existing products and you get the phone number to a manufacturer and then you call them.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. This is for people like me that like to talk on the phone. Yeah.
Boom.
I call that phone sourcing.
Phone sourcing. Okay. Yep. So you can source online. You can source on the phone. You can, like, it is. There are a lot of ways of sourcing, and I think we've kind of all these concepts of, like, I don't know, there's a lot of very complex methods for finding deals. There are also a lot of very easy methods for finding deals. The main thing is find something that will sell. And we know what the secret is to finding things that will sell. We know it's things like niches. We know having a target audience in mind. And actually, this is good because this answers another question that Tony Berkman said. He's having a hard time figuring out what products will sell, and rank doesn't help him that much. He just wants to know how to pick something that gets noticed and sells. So I'm kind of answering his question here as well. We know what will sell. Anything will sell if it has a clear target audience in mind. If it's a somewhat decent product, as long as it's a somewhat decent product and you have a clear audience, a niche audience, and you can picture someone who will buy that product. There are 270 million buyers on Amazon. The chances are that one of those people, or hopefully number of those people, will want to buy your product. People will look for things they love. If they love husky dogs, if they love tattoos, if they love, like, I don't know, childbirth or like sun tanning or like anything, whatever people love or have predominantly in their mind is what they will buy. Sushi, boom, great. So sell things.
And how do we know this?
How do we know this?
Yeah.
Oh, because we do it all the time, because I see sellers doing this. As soon as they find a and we know this because we know what people like. We've used like Facebook to research people. We use Amazon to research what people like, and sell things people like. So source things people like. But here's the thing. I think there's so much focus on finding hot products and brands, and you want Lego or you want like Hamilton. I don't know what's a hot product. The
pie face thing, right?
The pie face. Oh my God! Yeah. So right, everyone's buying pie face. Okay, where do I source the cheapest pie face? Oh, the end of the day, you're just like working on like a couple of dollars off from. Like you're just, it's like gambling. It's like playing the stock market. You're just playing commodities. Like, okay, I'm buying all the pie face, and maybe you'll make some money off them. Great, but it's not sustainable. It's not really replenishable. It's just riding that particular trend, which is fine and it's valid. I mean, I buy clearance deals. I love clearance deals and sending those things in, but it's not sustainable. So what you are looking for is creating products and listings, and especially create listings for simple things. Create listings, and that's sustainable. You can keep selling those products over and over again. So you have the two parts of the equation. You have sourcing, and you can source for your products wherever they are cheapest. So first of all, decide what you want to sell. What kind of audience do you have in mind? Who's your target? Great, you've got your audience. What are you going to sell to them? Okay, now where can you get that product the cheapest? That's still a good, reliable quality. Great. Okay, now you've got to sell it. So how are you going to sell it? Well, you're just going to market it, and you can put it in a bundle if that's going to make you the most money. You can customize it and sell it customized and white labeled. Great. But don't get hung up on like what's the difference between private label and white label and bundles and like wholesale, because they're all part of the same game. Like, I feel like these have been set up as like a model. Online arbitrage is a model. It's not really a model. It's just using a lot of plugins and deals on that to help you find good products. Wholesale isn't a model, and wholesale is honestly as easy as picking up the phone. And there are different degrees of wholesale as well. There are different levels of wholesale. Wholesale just means buying in quantity. You can go to a retailer, like a lot of retail websites that sell stuff like candy or plush toys. They generally sell retail, but they will sell you a wholesale quantity.
Yeah.
And it's just not that, like, there's not this big divide between retail and wholesale. Wholesale is just how much quantity you purchase. So yeah, you can. West Coast N21, is $1,000 good for a starting white label? Absolutely. I know the first batch of coffee we did, I think it was like we put in like $500 into it.
Yeah.
And that you can get started. I mean, people are doing smaller things than that.
You can actually start for much less.
You can start with $100. You can white label with $100. Like, it's kind of going to be testing the market with that. But you will need to replenish.
Right.
So,
now, the more money you have...
Diana's just said it. She just said she started with $35 on her Christmas tags and sold them out.
That's awesome.
I wish I had them. I think I left them in the car. They're super cute.
They're cool. They're great. They came in. We liked them.
Yeah, just sell what sells. Sell what makes money and where there's profit.
Yep.
Cool. So, yay, we answered Melissa's question and we answered Tony's question. Hi, Tony. Oh, I think Tony's there. He's talking to a guy on there.
Okay.
Okay, what should we stay away from? Oh, hoverboards! They're exploding! Don't do it! Oh my god!
In your face, yeah.
Hoverboards, yeah. I think the legit ones are okay. The ones that are proper, like the ones that are legit and wholesale from the right manufacturer, those are okay. But oh my gosh, the Chinese ones and the private label ones and the counterfeit ones, no.
If you're selling on Amazon, there are restricted products, so obviously you want to stay away from restricted products on Amazon.
Hazmat, stay away. Like, if you want to do FBA, and I recommend FBA, stay away from hazmat. Hazmat is anything that's kind of chemical, volatile, lithium batteries, aerosol sprays, anything with alcohol in, anything flammable, dynamite, bombs, guns. Heroin.
Yes, stay away from it all.
But yeah, I mean, just sell what sells and sell things that you believe in, that are safe, that you can see a target audience for. Don't sell things. Nail polish is hazmat. You can't send in nail polish. And send in things that you know there's an audience for. Stay away from generic, plain, boring things. That things that you just go, oh, that's pretty, but you can't say why, and you don't have any good descriptive words or niches for it. That's not going to be that easy to sell. But anything that's specific, that has a very specific audience in mind, awesome, sell that. Adult coloring books as a bundle sounds amazing. There's a couple of things with coloring books. We've been going back and forth how to bundle coloring books. Because you can't have a book as the main product in a bundle, which kind of puts the brakes on a coloring book plus crayons. But there are a couple of ways around this. One is to private label your own bundle. So you could have 2 coloring books and private label a set of 2 complementary coloring books together, but don't sell it as a bundle. Sell it as a private label set. You are the manufacturer. Okay. Give it a USP, and that is that's the way to do it. Or you can also private label a book with crayons. But you would need to get like blank crayons that from a wholesaler that you are allowed to private label. So there's a couple of options there, but definitely the benefit of selling coloring books as a bundle is that you can use the keywords in FBA. You can sell them through FBA and use the keywords, and you can use PPC advertising. And I've been talking to Jordan, actually. We've been trying to figure out whether you can FBA your coloring book by creating a new listing for it. And I think you can, which means that you can use keywords. This is huge. And this is something we're kind of looking into and how we can use that, because I think that could have some other uses as well. which I won't go into now because that's kind of a long other topic.
Long discussion.
Yeah. And we've already overrun by like half an hour. Okay, I had a lovely email from Pamela. I know Pamela popped in here, and I want to talk to her, but I think I'm going to save this for next week if it's possible. So she said she has a social enterprise business that's a jewelry-related product, and it's sewn for her by 4 women who are survivors of human trafficking.
Wow.
And they live in San Diego, and she works with them and donates 10% to Hope House. And this is absolutely amazing to me. So I'm going to save this one because, Pamela, I would love to talk to you about this. And maybe we can meet up and talk, because she's in San Diego. Hey! So we might be able to, I would love to talk to you.
We're going to meet someone in person? Is that what you're suggesting?
I think if she's up for it, that might be a good thing.
Internet?
I know you have a bad, like your history of meeting people on the internet. It's never gone that well, but but yeah, I think this could be an idea. So Pamela, we need to talk. I would like to talk to you more about what you are doing and what you are working on. Cool. So this was a lot of information. We've talked. What have we talked? We talked expiration dates, we talked BOLO lists. I had one other question I wanted to answer, and I'll try and do this one quick. What do you do when you get an email from the manufacturer asking them not to sell your product? That's a tough one, and I'm gonna answer it quickly and give you the answer I just gave in the Facebook group. So you get an email and they go, hello, I am like Bob from Quinoa Chip Company, and you are not authorized to sell my quinoa chips. Please stop it. That's a tough one because there's basically one of two things going on here. Number one, they are in fact Bob from Quinoa Chips, and they are going to make life difficult for you. They're going to contact Amazon and say, this person is not authorized to sell our chips, and they're selling counterfeit versions of our chips. The second is that they're another seller competing with you. So a lot of people will say, ignore it, like don't reply, just report it to Amazon, which is absolutely the right thing to do. If it's another seller competing with you, it is better to just report it to Amazon. But the problem is, unless you do crazy detective work, you do not know. You don't know whether it's the manufacturer or another seller. So if it is the manufacturer, honestly, you probably don't want to mess with them. Because, like, and I'll give you the Lush example. I know there was an issue with, like, Lush Cosmetics, and they were saying, like, people are selling counterfeit products. They weren't. They were selling Lush products. But here's the thing, Lush was saying, well, when we sell our products, they come in a very particular type of packaging. We have control over how they are shipped. And if they are not sold in that particular packaging in that way, then they are a counterfeit product. They are not the real, genuine, new Lush products. So it's better not to mess with manufacturers. So my answer to this, if it's a product you only have one or two of, just sell it out quick, stop selling it, and reply and say, okay, this is no longer in my inventory. I would bow down to it. If you are really suspicious that it's another seller messing with you, then contact the company directly and talk to the company. Say, okay, did you legitimately send this to me? If they did, then you can work with them. And that actually can lead you to a positive place. Because if you talk to the manufacturer, you can say, okay, I like your product. How can I sell it legitimately? I'd like to work with you. Boom, you've just opened up a new line of a new relationship, and good things can happen. So that's my advice there. If it's something you would just happen to have one or two of from like TJ Maxx, sell it out quick, tank your price, sell it out, get rid of it, and say that's what you've done. If it's something you are serious about selling, then contact the company. See if you can work with them. Hey, boom, that's my answer to what you do if you get an inquiry from the manufacturer.
Sounds good.
Melissa, no, we met in person. We met at an improv class. So, which is a story for another day. All right. So, thank you, everybody. I think this has been a crazy. Oh my gosh, we've gone about an hour and 40 minutes. Isaac.
Oh my gosh,
that was a lot of questions. So, guys, we will be archiving this at Catherine Treasure. Let me just post my YouTube link there. We will be archiving this at youtube.com/Catherine Treasure. Please follow us on Blab. Please tell all your friends about it. We like people. We like bringing people to join us. If you're completely new to what we're doing, go join our Facebook group, Treasure Hunting with Catherine, which is here. Come and join us there. If you want to learn much more, if you want to go in depth, check out our bundle class. And other than that, that's pretty much us done.
Yeah.
So have a great evening, everyone. Don't drive yourself nuts for Q4. Remember, have fun, joke, laugh, and words of wisdom, Isaac.
Words of wisdom.
It's like Jerry Springer.
Enjoy life.
Enjoy life.
Find enjoyment.
We love you guys. Thank you, Leanne. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Melissa. Blog Catalog, I'm not sure who you are, but thank you so much. You've been all providing awesome feedback. So thank you, guys. Really appreciated you having us with us. All right. Have a great night, everyone.
Bye.